our state who are living in poverty, and yet they have a parent that works. And even a small increase in income would mean the world for those children. We have a whole lot of research and evidence and studies done that show that low income, impacts early brain development that's so important for our children. And so that poor children do perform less well on a number of factors. But the good news is, the research also tells us that even a small increase, let's say $1,000 a year in family income, can make a huge difference too. But at the state, we end up with children that are doing better in school, children that are less likely to suffer from acute healthcare conditions, and children that are going to go on the rest of their lives to earn higher wages. You know, Minnesota needs more ladders out of poverty, and there's no better way to do that than to raise the wage. Do it for all of our children, do it for our state, and on behalf of Governor Dayton, thank you so much for being here.
Good afternoon. Our economy has recovered well from the recession, but not all of our workers are feeling it. You aren't feeling the impact because wages have not kept up with the rate of inflation. I am here today along with all of our fellow commissioners from the administration and our chief of staff to stress the importance of increasing our state's minimum wage and investing in our state's greatest asset, our workers. By raising the minimum wage to $9.50, we will put more money in your pockets, we will increase your spending power, and we will continue to grow our economy. Raising the minimum wage to $9.50 would improve the income of some 357,000 Minnesotans across the state. That's enough people to fill the new Viking Stadium 5 times over. Raising the minimum wage to $9.50 means better wages for 274,000 working adults and 202,000 working women. Raising the minimum wage to $9.50 means more economic security for 137,000 children across our state whose parents are low-wage earners. And raising the minimum wage means that businesses can invest in their workforce with decent wages and benefits and enjoy the benefits of a dedicated workforce with lower turnover, higher productivity, and better customer service, not to mention a $472 million impact on the statewide economy. We are here today because we know in Minnesota that we all do better when we all do better. I'm honored to be here with all of our fellow commissioners to represent Governor Mark Dayton's full support of the increase of Minnesota's minimum wage to $9.50.
To see you all here on the first day of session really does set the stage for what this session ought to be about, which is continuing the work that we've done to make sure that Minnesota works for everybody in this state, and that work works for everybody in this state. You know, it really is a hopeful time, a time of optimism, I think, in Minnesota. The economy is getting better, unemployment is down. We've made historic investments in education and job creation that I think will set the stage for a great future for the state. But the fact of it matter is this session can't be about being a victory rally for what we've accomplished in the past, because there's still a lot of work to do. We can't stand idle, and that's why it's so important for you all to be here today. The reality is, even though the economy is getting better, too many Minnesotans are still struggling to make ends meet. Too many Minnesotans are aspiring to the middle class, but can't get there. Too many Minnesotans simply don't earn enough money to raise their family on. And that's simply wrong in this state, and we're going to fix that this year because we are, thanks to the work, especially I want to give a huge shout out to Ryan Winkler. He's been tireless in making sure that we're going to raise the wage this year. So this is a top priority for Minnesota Democrats this year, maybe our top priority, to raise the wage to $9.50 and to get that work done and get it work done quickly. There really is no reason for us to wait any longer. That we should get this done in the first couple of weeks here. And do it because it's the right thing to do, but it's also the right thing to do our economy. Putting money in the pocketbooks of working Minnesotans is going to get back into our economy, and it's actually going to grow jobs and make this state a stronger place for everybody. And that's what this is about. So, at the end of the day, what I want to leave you with is one other thing, and that is the fact that we really are focused on economic security across the board. But remember this fact as well. Women in this state make up 60% of the folks making $9.50 or less. And if we're going to make this a strong state, it's got to be a strong state for every person in this state. Also, yes, let's hear it for that. Also, remember that 80% of the people who are making minimum wage are either living on that money themselves or raising a family on it. So this isn't just about people making a little money on the side. These are real families who need to make more money to get by. And we can't let the Republicans or anybody else tell the people of Minnesota other than that. This is about real families. So it's time to raise the wage. We took the first step today. We took the minimum wage bill back off the table, as we call it. We appointed a conference committee, which Ryan is heading up, to move it forward quickly. We're going to have some quick meetings with the Senate. Oh, there goes my voice. It's early in the session. Quick meetings with the Senate to get this done, work out the differences, and pass this bill as quickly as possible. But here's the fact of the matter is, you got to keep coming back until we get this done. Keep contacting legislators, keep talking to your friends and neighbors, because your being here is how this work gets done. Your being here is how we got to this point already, and your being here is how we're going to build a much better Minnesota in going into the future for every person in the state. So thank you for being here. And I do want to acknowledge also Representative Phyllis Hahn is here with us. And a person who is doing incredible, tireless work, not just on this issue, but dozens of issues that make a difference for Minnesota families. Representative Erin Murphy. So thank you for being here. We really want to continue to work.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Abdullahi Kulane. I am from Greater Worker Center in St. Cloud, and I'm also a leader in Somali American community in St. Cloud. Workers across the state, from the biggest city to the smallest town, are doing dangerous, hard work, but poverty wage, and that's not right. Workers, voluntary workers and temporary workers deserve a living wage. They don't deserve a living wage. So that they can live in dignity and support their families, provide for their families. We need to raise the wage now.
Hello, my name is Gabriel Tanuki. I'm a worker at Walmart, and I'm a Walmart member. Well, raising the minimum wage to $9.50, it means to me worrying a little bit less, smiling a little bit more, make sure that there's a little bit more food on the table for our families. See, the workers that work at Walmart, and just that little bit goes so much more. You know, it's not just about the money, it's about the families. It's not a right-wing issue, it's not a left-wing issue, it's a decent thing to do. I want to say thank you to everybody for coming on out. It really makes me feel good to know that we have so many people that want to support us. So thank you.
How's it going, guys? My name is Avita Samuels. I'm from St. Paul, and I'm with Working America. And I used to work in retail, so this issue is very personal to me. Minimum wage is an issue about respecting the fact that we work hard, and this work defines who we are as people. And Minnesotans, we do work hard, so I feel like $9.50 an hour is a great place to start to say that this work will help me build a better life for myself and my family. And that's why I stand behind $9.50 an hour. So Minnesota, what do we need to do today?
No es suficiente para mantener a nuestras familias.
What we make does not allow us to provide for our families.
Estamos pidiendo el apoyo a la compañía de Target y a los representantes de este gobierno
So we've been demanding from Target, and now we're asking from our representatives
nos apoyen para mejorar el nivel de vida de nuestras familias.
to support raising the minimum wage so we can have better lives for our families.
Gracias.
Thank you.
I am Judy Lear, and I'm speaking for the Intergenerational Working Group, which includes aging organizations, religious entities, unions, people and organizations who believe in social justice. No other issue is as cross-cutting as raising the minimum wage. As an older person with naturally graying hair, I know how important a living wage is. Often seniors need to supplement their income. We all know that no one can live on Social Security alone and that it was meant to be a safety net. Having a job with a higher minimum wage can make help ends meet. Raising the wage is good for older people, it's good for younger people, and it's good for everybody in between. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jim Parsons. I live in Minneapolis. I'm a member of Working America, the community affiliate of the AFL-CIO. I'm working 3 part-time jobs right now, but I'm up here to support raising the minimum wage because I feel we've gone through the Great Recession. We took job losses, we took wage cuts, we took wage freezes. Right now we know that profits are up, the economy's doing better, and I think it's time now for the hard-working people who've been holding up this economy to get a raise for the minimum wage. That's why I support it.
My name is Alicia Williams, and I'm from St. Cloud. As a single mom, I've had to work a job and a half to support me and my son and just provide us with basic needs. Working 65 hours a week, I didn't have a life. I barely saw my child, and I was forced to drop out of college. I feel that no Minnesotan should have to sacrifice having a decent life in order to be able to afford to live. I'm here with the Greater Minnesota Working Center, and I want to say, raise the wage. Minnesota, what do we want?
Raise the wage. Look around. I want the folks in the building, the legislators who are afraid to move, look around. Open your eyes, open your hearts, open your mind. There's a movement underway. Raise the wage. Be on the right side of history. What are we here to do?
My name is Rachel Shelton. I'm a member with Take Action. We need to increase the minimum wage. Working for minimum wage, $7.25 is very stressful. I myself have worked for those wages. Dollar Tree, Wendy's, and paying bills on $7.25 minimum wage is not possible. I stand here today for my 2 kids and grandson.
Minnesota needs to raise the rate because we are the fourth lowest in the nation. I don't think y'all heard me. We are the fourth lowest in the nation, and that ain't right. Come on, Minnesota, we need to take action.
Hi, my name is Darcy Landau, and I work at the airport as a wheelchair assistant with AirServe. Although I love the job I do and the service I provide, I cannot survive on $7.25. I work surrounded by billion-dollar corporations, making them a profit while I eke out a living. I have spoken many times publicly about the need to raise the minimum wage because if our employers won't raise our wages, we need our politicians to do so. Together with SEIU Local 26, we will keep fighting until we win living wages for all workers. Thank you.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. This is my wallet. This is my union card. I'm a very proud member of the Carpenters Union since 1976, and my dues are paid through 2014. There are a number of issues on the Senate's working family agenda this session. And I was reminded how important that was 2 weeks ago when I got a call from the Iron Range. Walmart is building a store on the Iron Range. And I got a call from the building trades who had shut the job down because Walmart didn't want to employ union workers on the construction. While Walmart can afford to employ union workers on the construction, and they can afford to pay $9.50 to their employees. So just this afternoon, following the action by the House, the Senate appointed the conferees to the Conference Committee on the Minimum Wage. We expect to have a very short timeline in which we get that bill on the governor's desk. Now, there are other things on our working families agenda. We have the Senate Tax Committee working on making improvements to the working family tax credit so these low-wage workers can get additional tax relief from the state. The Senate is going to pass additional funding for long-term care workers, some of the lowest paid workers in this state. Who are doing the heavy work of caring for our state's most vulnerable citizens, and they deserve to be paid more, and we are going to pay their employers more so they can raise their wages. We are going to pass a very robust bonding bill supplemented with cash from the budget surplus, because there is nobody in this state, no industry that was hurt deeper by this recession than our building trades workers, and we're going to put them back to work. And then finally, next week, the Senate is going to pass a bill out of committee that I'm the author of. And it is going to require a supermajority of both the House and the Senate to put any constitutional amendment on the ballot. I am not going to retire from the legislature and someday be sitting in a rocking chair somewhere and read in the newspaper that the Republicans who may have controlled the legislature at that time put right to work on the ballot in Minnesota. We're going to make it as difficult as we possibly can. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for taking so much time advocating for the people who aren't here today. The real minimum wage workers of the state who can't